I'm Janine from Sigma, and we are here with the Honourable Cressida Galea, a member of Maltese Parliament. Thank you, Cressida, for taking the time to come down and speak to us today.
Thank you for your invitation.
Amazing. So we're going to talk today about the Malta Vision 2050 plan and how this plan aims to balance the country's foundation in iGaming and also with new ambitions in sectors such as esports, immersive tech, and game development.
Sure. First of all, again, thank you for your invitation. It is a pleasure of mine being here speaking about Malta's bold and forward-looking vision for the country. I must say that the Malta Vision 2050 is not just a strategy, but it is a commitment to reimagining our economic structure.
Wow.
And when it comes to the gaming industry, it is about expanding into other high-value added sectors such as the esports, the game development, and obviously other even immersive technologies as well. Of course, I think everyone knows the success that Malta had obviously during the past few years when it comes to the gaming industry. And the idea is to replicate that success into immersive technologies, again, such as the esports and so on and so forth. And that is why it is important that the Malta Vision is owned by everyone, right? There should be alignment. Everyone should come with their own ideas, with their own opinions. And that is why we are at the consultation period at the moment. It is up until this month, September,
to make sure conversation as well.
Exactly, to make sure that all ideas are into this vision, because it is a vision for all, right? It is a national vision. Obviously, the gaming sector, it is a sector that is a major contributor to our economy. It employs a lot of people as well. More than 10,000 jobs, obviously, are being created by the gaming industry, and that is why, obviously, if we want to continue expanding, we need to make sure that we have the right tools, the right initiatives in place to make sure that obviously we continue on that track.
100%. Amazing. And what specific policy changes or maybe investments are being prioritized at the moment to create an innovative, friendly sector within the iGaming industry?
Sure. It would take, for example, the 2025 budget, so this year's budget that was announced last year, around 2.3 million euro were allocated to the esports environment. So that was an investment directly in the esports.
Amazing.
And there are others, obviously. There is also the visa that is being obviously launched also to make sure that even those who want to relocate to Malta, it makes it easier for them to relocate. We're thinking about innovative hubs, even, for example, events. We want also to launch events here, and especially when it comes to tier 1 esports, even events, it would be possible, obviously, Malta to host such events.
Definitely.
And there are other, obviously, when it comes to policy initiatives, I cannot not mention the fiscal initiatives that are being put forward, obviously, by the government to make sure that there is fiscal incentives also for the operators to come to Malta and obviously open their investments here in Malta. There are other, obviously, the taxation regime in Malta, which is also favorable, and that is why, obviously, even operators are attracted to our country. And I think another important policy initiative that is at the forefront of the government's agenda is also the talent development.
Definitely.
To make sure that we have the necessary skills both of the current workforce, therefore obviously making sure that we reskill and upskill the current workforce so that they can meet the existing demands of the labor market, but even more important, making sure that the next generation, so even people and students that are at the moment, at universities, at MCAST, at any educational institute, they can get the specialized training in such, digital innovation, in the different, immersive technologies.
That's amazing.
To make sure that we have the next generation equipped with the necessary skills so that obviously we can meet the demand of the, upcoming industries that are yet to come to Malta.
From education.
That's right.
As you said, talent retention and upskilling is, I think, probably two of the biggest challenges that the iGaming industry is currently facing. So is there any other initiatives when it comes to education or workforce initiatives that are being planned to support long-term growth?
Definitely. I think it is something that it is not just for the gaming industry, right? Or the iGaming industry. I think it is across all sectors.
Definitely.
And it is important that obviously when it comes to skills especially, we know where we are. So we have a national stock take of the current skills to make sure that if we want to expand, in other industries, we have the necessary skills to do so. And that is why obviously the government, the Maltese government launched in 2022 the Malta Skills Survey. It was the very first of its kind to take a national stock take of the current skills. And from there, obviously, we had identified any skills gaps that there are within the current working age population.
Amazing.
To make sure that obviously specialized training courses then obviously are in place, are there to support then the reskilling and the upskilling of the current workforce.
And understanding what gaps there are is an amazing first step to then actually being able to fill that gap. And how is Malta positioning itself internationally as well to compete with such a fast-paced and leading innovation hub for gaming and immersive technologies by 2050 within the Malta Vision 2050 plan, especially against larger digital economies?
We must say that we have the first mover advantage, in the iGaming industry as well, because Malta was the very first, or among the first in the EU countries that regulated the gaming industry, the gambling activities, obviously with the Malta Gaming Authority being established back in 2001, which regulates obviously the gaming operators, obviously across the industry. It is a reputable authority, and that is why, of course, even the regulatory framework is robust enough to attract even new operators. I think those are the two main factors that makes Malta also attractive even against obviously other global competitors. I already mentioned obviously the attractive corporate tax regime that we have, and obviously the fiscal incentives that are offered and already being offered to the operators, so that there is also the attraction from that angle as well, and also obviously the strategic geographical position of the country.
Definitely.
Which is a gateway to the global market. And I think all these factors, obviously among other factors, makes Malta an attractive environment, obviously with the scalability and the stability that it has to attract more investments, obviously in the gaming industry, to continue opening up in our country.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This has been Honorable Cressida Galea with us at Sigma Media Lounge.